Joining us now, Rod Blagojevich. He has a good idea for how politics works in Chicago. He was the 40th governor of Illinois. He joins us to weigh in along with Danielle Carter-Walters, a native of Chicago.
Ooh, Danielle Carter-Walters, man. Hey, look, she the voice right now. If y'all don't know who this woman is, she all through the Chicago. She all through the city right now, and she basically standing up. She running the whole movement. Turn Chicago red or some shit like turn Illinois red. Like, she running that for real, and she getting on these politicians' ass. She's showing up to the press conferences with Brandon Johnson, and she giving it to him, bro. Facts. Like, she know her shit for real. She know what's going on, and I'm happy that there's another black woman out here that understands the problem. How Brandon Johnson was giving all this money to the immigrants, and then leaving the black community just looking for a handout or looking for help, while you giving free money and benefits to people that don't even feed into the system. So Shorty here on the right, she definitely was one of the main contributors of this aspect, and I'm proud of this woman though, because she's changing Chicago right in front of us. I'm be honest, she running the Flip Chicago Red campaign. I'm for it, man. We trying to turn Chicago and Illinois back red if we can. Let's go. I know it's gonna be hard. It's going to be a hard feat, but I think if we all work together against these liberal districts or the counties, we can definitely do that, man. Because if you look at the map of Illinois, you can see that majority of the map of Illinois is red, bro. It's just those main counties, bro, like Cook, DuPage, possibly Will. Other than that, Springfield. Other than that, bro, everything else is red. So we all got to get together, because before I start this video, I want y'all to know, J.B. Prister went, not only is he'll go to Chicago, talk about Chicago, and then make rules for the whole state based out of Chicago. That's Chicago, bro. The west, once you hit them west suburbs going into Aurora, Oak Brook, them problems ain't the same problems. That's Cook County problems for real. You start hitting DuPage, Oak Brook, Naperville, that's West Chicago suburbs. You know what I'm saying? We don't have them same problems like that. But what Prister would do is he'll make the rules for the whole state based off of shit that should be only done in Chicago itself. Like, he's trying to go over Brandon Johnson's head in case somebody goes behind him and change the rules. So if somebody goes behind Brandon Johnson after he, of course, gonna get reelected somebody else and change the rules up, it don't matter, because J.B. Prister set them rules as a standard, bro. Yes, it's preposterous. Anyway, let's go. This is your boy G. What's his new? Rod Blagojevich. This is my boy. They just let him out for real. Free Blagojevich. He had to go out. I say bring him back. Bring Rob back, bro. Facts. If y'all think Rob should be back, put that in the comment section. Let's continue. Let's go.
Southside and co-founder of Chicago Flips Red. Gov, let's start with you. I know you watched this Pritzker extravaganza today. He had everyone there. They were all there. Teachers unions represented. You know, you had the police commission. They were all there. So he apparently is trying to argue, along with Johnson, that things are stupendously better, not perfect, but far better in Chicago, and that Trump's going there to incite violence. What do you say tonight?
I hope President Trump comes to Chicago and can do in Chicago what he's done in Washington. No murders in Washington in 12 days. In Chicago, 254 people have been murdered in 233 days. You can honestly wake up in the morning and say, somebody's going to get murdered today. And you can also say 80% of that, the people murdered will be black, because 80% of the murder victims in Chicago are black. And if this was happening in the neighborhood Pritzker and these white limousine rich liberals live in, he would not only beg Trump to bring the National Guard, he'd scream and shout for the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the Air Force. This is hypocrisy with a touch of racism, and it proves that the Democratic Party today, Black Lives Matter only for their votes, not when it comes to keeping them safe in their disadvantaged neighborhoods.
Now, Danielle, Chicagoans have been dealing with crime for decades, but your governor thinks it's kind of a big joke. Watch this.
Here I am on the path on the lakefront.
I'm tired of this dude, man. J.B. Prister, you get on my fucking nerves. Look, if you notice, I seen this video. Dude walks. Now, what's behind you, J.B.? He probably on one of them little carts, you know, them ones that move and shit, acting like he going for a jog. You telling me everybody walk past you, don't know who you is, won't stop, won't say nothing, won't take no picture, because you J.B. Prister, you the governor of the state, right? So you almost damn near famous. you fighting with Trump and shit. Everybody see you, nobody stop. That shit is framed, bro. Y'all didn't set the whole mode up. Yeah, get a nigga to run down that way, and then we're gonna get two niggas to run down this way. We gonna make them look like I'm doing this every day. Nigga, you ain't slick. You on Ozempic, but you ain't slick. We know what's going on, JB. You act like you running, you breathing hard in the video, bro, and you don't turn behind you at all because you got a crew of members behind you with them arms on them. Come on, you think we dumb? Come on, man.
6 a.m. on a Monday. And we got a lot of people running, having a great time. Doesn't feel like a
They don't
hellhole
even
here.
look like they acknowledge it.
In
Not
fact,
even looking
everybody's
at them
having a
the
great
slightest.
time and
Think they
enjoying
don't know who you are.
themselves. So I don't know who in Washington thinks that Chicago is some sort of hellhole, but you may need to look inward.
Yeah, Danielle, he's trying to do the Gavin Newsom here, doing like the Trump troll. But we had 27 people injured over the weekend in violent events. People I talked to who've lived in Chicago for decades are afraid. They're still afraid. But we're supposed to believe it's all getting a lot better. Your reaction?
We are not thinking about Pritzker or Brandon Johnson. We just had 4 mass shootings in the span of 1 month. 14 people
Yep.
got shot and 4 dead. We just had senior citizens laying shot, bleeding in the streets. And let's not forget the gentleman who we saw, who was on Facebook Live,
Got shot in
get
his car.
robbed and shot while he was sitting in his car.
Right.
So we don't care about anything these people are saying.
Lying.
Tell Brandon Johnson and Pritzker, if Chicago is so safe with Brandon Johnson especially, let's leave his 150 police detail. Fire them and walk around with no police detail. And Pritzker, no security.
Right.
Come in my community, the south side of Chicago. Come over there and let's see you say how safe it is. You can't even sit in your car long. If you sit in your car, you know that it's a chance you're going to get carjacked, robbed, or shot. So tell him to come around in my neck of the woods and talk that.
Yeah, Governor, I was driving through the South Side about 3 weeks ago or so. To see a couple of people in the area, so I decided to drive around with a couple friends, and it was pretty gnarly, I gotta say. I mean, I love Chicago; it's an amazing place. I've spent a lot of time near
What
the
part of the
University of
South
Chicago
Side,
over the
though?
years, but the idea that this is like some nirvana of safety now is ludicrous. I mean, you can feel it. And you can feel the tension in the people there. It doesn't mean, it's terrible all the time, 24/7, no. But they want to sell this idea that if they just had more federal money, that things would be better.
Fuck outta
That's
here.
what they demanded today. Johnson and Pritzker want $800 million, I believe that's what they said, restored to Illinois and Chicago.
Nope.
Well, Chicago's a tale of two cities because the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago are very different places from the Streeterville neighborhood or the Gold Coast neighborhood where
Exactly.
Pritzker lives. In fact, life expectancy in the neighborhood Pritzker lives in is 91 years. But in Englewood, just 20-minute drive away, the life expectancy on the south side in Englewood is 61 years. Police officers are outnumbered by nearly 10-1, gangbangers to police officers. 12,000 police officers, more than 100,000 gangbangers. And those communities that are underserved with police presence are the ones who are facing these high crime rates. And here again, this isn't a black and white issue. It's really a moral issue. And when I was a governor back in 2008, I actually talked about sending the National Guard to help Mayor Daley and sending state resources to help Mayor Daley fight crime in those high crime neighborhoods. The great irony is, and this is sort of what Malcolm X says about white liberals, they pretend to be your friend. They're the fox who sees the lamb, but it's the fox who eats the lamb. And in Pritzker's case, I think that lamb chop that Malcolm X is talking about will probably not last very long in JB's plate.
Not at all.
Danielle, do you think
He gonna
the
eat that shit up quick, expeditiously. Facts. Like, and I'm glad that Robert Blagojevich is on this because I actually do like Robert Blagojevich. I did multiple videos on him, also stating on how he believed he was framed and he technically they got sentenced for something that he didn't actually do, and it all makes sense. You know what I mean? If you put the two and two together, he never pled to nothing he did wrong. He pled not guilty, but he just lost. He got sentenced for something he technically didn't do. Anyway, that being said, it doesn't really matter. He was a better a governor at the time. J.B. Priester is just out of hand right now. Like, I want the old Chicago back. You know what I'm saying? When you get that Chicago vibe, you feel a little safe. Go outside, kids playing. Now we got the kids with guns. Y'all allowing the kids to take over. It just doesn't feel safe in Chicago no more, man. Every time I'm out south, bro, I'm like, damn, like, why do I feel like I gotta stay strapped everywhere? But why do I feel I gotta stay strapped definitely right here? Like, I feel like some shit gonna bust off right here. It's just off, and I can feel it. And then some shit had happened that same day, but I wasn't there. And I'm like, man, bro, like it'd be just like that, man. It'd be just like that. Let's continue.
Working person in Chicago would applaud this effort, if indeed, again, we don't know what's going to happen. It may or may not happen. But would they applaud this effort or join the ranks of people opposing Donald Trump and the quote, dictatorial conduct?
We welcome President Trump, and there's a lot of people. We get emails and texts all day. They welcome President Trump. And let me just say this. Anybody that's opposed of a president coming in to help our communities to be safer, help our communities from homicides, from robberies, carjacking, and especially an elected official who have a problem with that, those elected officials should be thrown in prison for treason. That's just it. And
let me add to this, the aspect too is if majority of the homicides that's done in Chicago are done by black people to black people should be the first ones that's like, hey man, we should probably get this underway. Definitely for the old heads that can't protect themselves out there, because I feel for the individuals in Chicago that they're not on their P's and Q's like the YNs out here. The YNs, they quick to pull the trigger. You don't even know when they're gonna jump out. You got to rely on somebody. You got to make sure you ain't in a fully tinted car, and you got to roll your windows down, motherfucker, see, so you know you're not the ops type shit. You got to run through make sure you ain't going through the wrong block, get to your destination and back, chilling in no car, really ain't talking to nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to live life that way. And that's because people feel like they can commit crimes and get away with it. If they feel like they couldn't get away with it, or the consequences are so detrimental, they probably would second guess the decision before they make it, right? But what's happening is we're Chicago right now, J.B. Priester and Brandon Johnson's the only one right now to blame for that situation. And I'm going to be honest, I blame Obama too. And why do you blame Obama? Because he's for this shit. It's like when Chicago's doing wrong, y'all need to admit Chicago's wrong. Chicago's wrong. We're not doing what we could do. We're not doing better. But what the liberals do sometimes is that, well, since the agenda of the red is to help us, I don't want their help because they're the red. They're the conservatives, and we don't want their help at all, even though it is helpful and we do need them. We're going to turn the other cheek and be stubborn. But in being stubborn kills a lot of people. But so be it to them, right? That's the problem. And this woman, she comes up here and talk, Danielle Carter Walters, she comes in here and talk, and this is a lady from the South Side talking, and she pro-Trump, whatever, and that's cool. But she's really just pro her society and her people. It's like, we don't want crime. We do want the money funded into our communities as well. If you're going to fund it into these immigrant communities, because that's what's going to happen. This would spark this whole thing. It's led by the wrong people. I knew that he was a bad choice when he was running, because he just spoke as if he's telling you what you want to hear and not telling you what you should hear. You know what I mean? And that's the concept of what we do. We're feeding ourselves things that we want to hear from people, and then what? Getting ourselves more in debt, causing more crime, taking the guns away from the citizens that want to be protected, letting go of the illegal immigrants, and letting go of the killers and crooks back on the street. Bro, the elderly, y'all gonna figure out when y'all get old, y'all ain't gonna be too slow to react, and people just gonna be on y'all heels, and then the old people gonna be getting killed off. Then y'all gonna be, oh, what happened? Yeah. He couldn't reach your grandkid. He couldn't reach the mama or the daddy, so he got the grandma because she was lacking. That's how it go, bro. Y'all slacking. Y'all think shit ain't busting out. Like, there's a reason why people think, oh, Chicago ain't safe nowhere. Like, this mentality ain't come from nowhere. It's because the violence it's really because the government allows the violence to happen. Really, if you think about it, the government allows the violence to happen, and that's why the violence continue to happen. because in other states this won't fly. Yeah, in that aspect. And I like this whole thing, JB Prister, Robert Blagojevich talking about JB Prister and the leaders of Chicago. Like, yeah, it's running rampant, bro. We flawed. I was telling this girl today at work, and I said, imagine you was protesting against everything I say because I'm like, more conservative views, and it's really just like the benefit of the help of the people when it comes to saving money, getting everybody getting money and getting rich, getting off of welfare and shit. That's really my mindset, right? It's really not conservative that much. It's just, let's get off of welfare. Let's serve our people. Let's eat healthy. Let's, even if you got to force them to do it, you got to force people to do great. That being said, I told the girl at work, I said, well, what if you fighting for the wrong part of history? You fighting for the part of history that detriments the whole part that you thought was helpful to your community. You thought that being a liberal helped your community when it didn't. It actually made your community weak. It made your community stay poor, and it fed them the mindset that crime is okay. Being hopeless is okay. Being confused is okay, right? And then you start blaming the rich people that did focus, and they realized that was a problem, right? That's the problem in the community a lot. So we got to start thinking like, what if you on the wrong side of history? What if you really are fighting for the opposite side, and then what, it's too late? Oh, I want to join this side because this the people that's actually serving us. Well, it's always been serving, bro. Y'all just got to think of it in a different way. They thinking like, if he's red, he the enemy. It's like, no, that's not the concept. Y'all got to stop thinking like that. Robert Blagojevich, he did whatever he did, but he was a good governor. At the end of the day, you can't say he wasn't a good governor overall. You know what I mean? And I remember the day. I remember when he went to jail. I was super young when he went to jail. That being said, y'all tell me what y'all think about this conversation, man. I'm glad that they put these two people on here because people don't really know about Danielle Carter Waters. Because, I learned from her, I've been watching live. I follow everything in Chicago. I stay listening to what she talk about. She go to little conference press meetings and shit. I like being there too. I'm going to pull up to a few and see if I can get some live footage for y'all on my live. In the meantime, tell me what y'all think about this conversation, because this getting deep, man, because this is really, I'm living in one of the biggest cities in the world that is fighting against the person that I agree with the most. Oh, yes, Angelo Savage. I agree with Trump a lot, but I'm living in the country, in the state that disagrees with him a lot. At least for our government officials that disagree with him. But right here, you can see, obviously, the former governor of the state and residents of the state, black, are telling you the problems. They want change, man. Change needs to happen. Definitely if it affects the black community the most, we need to stand up for that black community. Y'all need to know this is a problem, and it doesn't matter if he's red or not. If he's solving a problem that is detrimental to our society, our people, then we need to solve it. Get them. If you got to give people harder sentences, not let them go, then that's so be it, bro. You just can't let people go rampant on the street. Like, I seen that live of that dude dying on live. I didn't even want to do a reaction to it because it makes me angry seeing that shit, because that shit easily happen. I know people that they've been snatched at their car before. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago. And that's the problem right there. Like, people think, oh, it's cool. Yeah, I caught a hat. I caught a body. It's cool. Like, no, that's not cool, bro. We need to make that shit shameful again. If you're not doing right, you need to be shamed for your bad behavior. Not, oh, don't judge me. No, you need to be judged because you're doing wrong by your people and morally by everybody. That being said, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section about this. Is Angelo Savage being too real, or is Angelo Savage not enough real? You tell me, man, because in my eyes, I feel like I'm just doing what we supposed to do. I'm not, even if it means me going against all my people that think that I'm doing wrong, I know this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to continue to stick by it. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. Make sure you subscribe. Peace.